Okay, guys, before we move on, I get to talk about gentle bands again. Now, if you're watching my show recently, you saw me bring up gentle bands. Well, I get to bring them up again. Check this out. I'm opening this one up just for you. Last time I got a pretty good looking ring with this one. This is the sports ring collection. It is the Athlos, and it's a tribute to the Olympics, and it celebrates the eternal spirit of sports that people have developed over the century. Gentle Bands chose Athlos as their collection name. It's a Greek word meaning a contest or a competition encompassing any kind of feat or challenge, and you can see it. Look at that. That is a thick ring, and that feels like the gods made it. Look at that. Feels solid. I like that a lot. Each ring design is inspired by legendary gods and titans of Greek mythology. In addition to the rings and the chains, they've also developed cufflinks for this collection. This ring is just awesome. It's made of tungsten. It's like thick. It is strong. You can get more information on each ring at the website itself. They came up with an alternative solution. You got this chain, really thick, wonderful chain actually. And if some people, when they're playing sports or they're at the gym, it becomes a little awkward. So they came up with this idea to put it on a chain. So check this out. Easy. Got yourself a necklace now. Put it up there. Done deal. I got my ring. I got it on a chain. And it really is. It's a really solid piece. So here's the beauty. You can get 25% off. You get a discount from me. But you got to put in KH channel. And here is the link. It is in the description. First thing you're going to see is Gentle Bands. Click on that link. You get 25% off. I mean, come on. It's the Olympics, baby. And this is the perfect time to do it. It's a really smart idea. And I love Gentle Bands. They have just done amazing work. This is my second ring with them. And I'm sure it's not going to be my last. So thanks to Gentle Bands. Check it out. And let me know what you think. The Skeleton Crew Star Wars show. First images are out. Jude Law stars in this one. Bryce Dallas Howard's directing an episode. There's a lot going on in this show. So the question is, when you see the first images, how do they play? Is this going to be something that can help out Star Wars, get them back on track, or is it going to continue in the disappointing stuff that they've been putting out? We will discuss today with myself, Roxy, and Brett. We will look at these images and say, hey, man, this either looks this or not. We will discuss TV news. I've been watching the Umbrella Academy. I got a lot of interviews coming up. A lot of interviews. Roxy and I are doing an interview that you guys are going to like very much. We'll discuss that and more. Brett's here. And we've got a lot of other things to do. So let's get into it. Yes, Mama Sheridan. Brett has not been on the thumbnail. There's a reason why. We'll discuss. Big topics coming out here today. So hit that button. Apple Podcasts, Spotify. You can comment on Spotify now, which is awesome. Video, so make sure you do that. So it's the big thing. Here we go. Cool. Wonderful. Nice. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the big thing. Thursday. I hope you're all having a wonderful day. Myself, Kristian Harloff, Jury Duties, Roxy Stryer, Brett Sheridan, all three of us. You drinking? Is that from the Josh McCouga show?
Yeah, how'd you know? Oh, it says
Does it say
right
Josh
on there,
McCouga show on it?
Good. Yeah, OG mug.
Wow.
Listen, one thing about me, if you give me a mug, I'm gonna have it for the rest of my life.
Yeah. Your camera does look much better today than it has in the past.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's because of the hat.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
the happy hatting.
I think so. I think
This is my favorite place in Los Angeles to eat.
Dante's Peak?
Yeah, it's just Dante.
Oh, I have a friend
They
named
moved over
Dante.
from New York.
I haven't
It's the
seen
best.
him. I haven't seen him in a while, but I have a friend named Dante. Do you have a friend named Dante, Brett?
I don't. I feel left out.
I'll introduce you to my friend, and he can be your friend. But I haven't talked to him in a while.
Very
So.
Italian of you, Kristian, that you have a friend named Dante.
I have had so much great Italian food over the course of the last month. It's been amazing. So
yeah,
good.
that's one of the best parts about where you live.
Man.
Like there are a couple of Italian restaurants in LA that are good, but they're all fancy Italian. None of them are like home style delicious Italian like I had growing up or you have in New York.
Yeah, they have all that stuff here, man. They have the fancy ones. They got this. I mean, there's a restaurant we just ate at the other day. It was really, really good. It's good stuff going on over here with as far as good eats.
Do you take your kids into the city ever?
Not yet, but we will for sure. But there's Brett, I wish when you're here next time, I found a deli that's right near the office that is like next level old school Italian deli. It's like that's what you got to that's what we got to do next time.
Did you get a hoagie?
I will. I'm gonna get a. I'm gonna. It's. I mean, this is like the old school. You know, they in L.A. There's a place in Santa Monica that you probably know. It's probably not too far from.
Yeah, Bay Cities, it's the best.
It's the best, but this place puts it. This place puts it to
It's a
shame.
shame.
I love Bay
I know,
Cities.
it's so crazy.
I love Bay
Like,
Cities. It was my favorite
yeah.
place because it was the only place even close. But it's like, yeah, it's like it's like Domino's compared to like real New York pizza. You know.
I'm so with you. It's so wild. Like growing up, my mom, who's from Brooklyn, born in Brooklyn, from Jersey, made the best hoagies everywhere. It's not the same as New York, but in Boston, like every single sandwich shop slaps. And out here, there's one, and it's good. And it's Bay Cities, and it's good.
The only thing I'll push back on is that every sandwich slaps because there's a deli right across the way from my studio, and it's like a nice Portuguese deli, and it's the girl in there couldn't be sweeter.
What's a Portuguese deli? What do they serve?
I mean, it's just cold cuts and but everything else too. But you choose the bread, you put it in there. And yesterday, I went in there, and like I said, she's super nice girl. She doesn't speak much English, but I went in there and said, "Can I have a sandwich?" It was like honey turkey, something else too. I put the bread in. I was so hungry. I hadn't eaten all day, so I needed something to eat before I got on this phone call. And so I run over there, I get it. And I left the aisle for a second. I said, "Oh, she's making a sandwich. I'll go get a water." So I come back and I say, "Thank you," pay for the sandwich, run across the street, and I put down the sandwich to start the phone call, and there's mayonnaise on it, and I hate mayonnaise. If I could physically fight mayonnaise, I would fight mayonnaise. I hate mayonnaise.
That doesn't mean that the sub shop. It means that she did the wrong thing. But was the sandwich quality bad? Like
It was
was
fine.
the meat bad?
It was no. It was. I mean, yeah, you're not wrong, but it was. But it was fine.
That sucks. I'm with
It was
you.
fine.
I don't like
I
mayo
hate
on my
mayonnaise.
stuff.
And the problem was when I went back real quick, and I was able to get over there, and I said to her, I said, and again, sweet girl, and she's just like, "Oh, so sorry," and I was like, I go, can you put I was like, I want mustard. I can't eat mayo, and so she didn't scrape the mayo off. She just put the freaking mustard over the mayo, and I was like, I had to eat it. I was gonna eat. I was gonna eat my own hand.
No, that's horrible. You can't do that. You got to make a new sandwich. Let
I
me
know.
ask you this though, Kristian, because I know you like sushi, like I do. Do you like spicy mayo?
Yeah, I don't mind
Me
it.
too.
If
Me too. What's
yeah,
up with that?
I don't know.
Why
If-
don't I like mayo on my sandwiches?
It just
but I like
depends, but I
spicy
won't.
mayo?
But it's not my first choice. I'm not. If I have to eat it, I'll eat it. If I have to, I will. But anyway, Brett, the last 2 episodes, you've been talking so much that I can't stand it.
Sometimes you two are hard to interrupt. I'm just gonna say it.
Oh yeah, why is that?
I tried to interject a couple times at the beginning. No, I don't like. Let's recap my opinions about mayo. I hate mayo. I don't like any mayo-based sushis. Let's see here. Hoagies. We had a hoagie shop in my hometown.
You had
and
a
then
friend named John Hoagie. John Hoagie was
John
a good buddy.
Hoagie. Then they opened up a Subway, and everybody was like, "Woo, this is crazy! You can pick all this toppings on your." I'm like, "There was a Subway shop down the street, the hoagie place."
It is pretty crazy how that happens, isn't it? Where you look at when all those shops that we had growing up, Rox, and then when we didn't have the Subways and all that stuff, and then the Subway comes out, and you're like, "Oh," like as Brett's saying, and then years later, you're like, "Oh man, I miss the old delis. I miss all those places. I miss those types of things."
Well, it's like Steph, if you've ever heard talk about it, she like swears by Jersey Mike's.
Ugh.
She's like effing obsessed.
Same with
it.
Ellis. Same with Ellis.
She says it's like the best sandwich she's ever had in her life, and I'm confused.
I don't like Jersey Mike.
I'm not saying I wouldn't eat it.
It's fine.
It is if you're
Better
getting.
than Subway.
I like stopping
Yeah.
when I stop for fast food. If you're on a road trip, if I'm stopping for fast food, I much prefer a Subway or a Jersey Mike's
Yeah.
to a McDonald's.
Sure.
I definitely like a sub shop better, but not over another sub shop.
Like a
that's
real
mom
deli,
and pop
right?
place.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
it's. I guess that's. I walk those comments back a little bit. I had a bad experience once at Jersey Mike's, and then kind of wrote it off. But then Kate Mulligan bought subs for Brett and I one time for Jersey Mike's, and it was fine. But yeah, compared to like what I'm talking about, these delis over here, I mean, yeah, I mean it's just.
Also, do they do breakfast sandwiches there?
Yeah, at the deli. Yeah,
Yeah,
of course.
man, the breakfast sandwiches out here suck.
Yeah, the food's
Breakfast
just not as
sandwiches
good.
back home are so good.
They're so good. So we
You
have.
wanna know-
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I can give this to you later, but this is just a little preface. I had a I had the worst date yet
Oh,
this week.
you've had some bad
This-
ones. You've had some
I know
bad
this
ones.
is horrible.
We should probably get into
Really
this.
bad.
Yeah, we should probably get into this. Let's
So
just
dive
start.
right
bad,
into
but
Do you want to
the
hear
part
about it, right, Brett?
Mhm.
part
yeah.
that-
Yeah, me too.
Can't wait.
Okay, go ahead.
the part that's relevant to the sandwich
Yes.
is that I
Beat this guy over the head with a salami sandwich afterwards.
no,
Oh.
when I was talking to him about like something came up and I was like, oh, it's way better back east. And he's from DC, so
She gets
like
it.
that's more back east. And he was like, I hate when people do that. You live in LA, everything's better in LA then. And I was like, it's just not true. Like what are you talking about? And he's like, it's just so disrespectful. If you're gonna move to a place and live here, you should just love it. There's nothing better about back east than go back east. And I was like, all right.
Is
I
that
don't know
no,
what
he wasn't being real. He was
When you hear about the rest of the date, you will know how so real he
Oh,
was
let's
being.
do it.
who is this
Let's do it.
weirdo? Who is
Oh,
this
you
weirdo?
want me to? You want to get into it? Let's
yeah,
get into it.
we're already there.
Ready for this?
Yeah, I mean, come on.
Yeah. How did we end up here? Because I literally took the ship and steered it in this
Yeah, that's
direction.
fine.
So I went on a date with this guy. I've known him since we were in college.
Oh,
And when we were in college, we were not friends, but we were friendly. And he was a big, big partier in college.
okay.
So was I. So probably were the two of you. It was college. He is now 35, so he's been out of college for quite some time. So I thought it was a reasonable assumption that he was different than he would have been back then.
Sure.
What happened was about 5 years ago, he messaged my best friend from college, who he was close with, and he was like, yo, your friend Rox is really cute. I want to ask her out.
Mm-hmm.
She called me and was like, and this was only a few years after college, and she was like, I don't know, man. I don't think he's for you, but he wants to ask you out, see what you want to do with it. I think at this time I was maybe on, I must have been on and off with Ben or whatever. I must have been like in a break
Ben who?
period, but thinking I was gonna my ex, thinking I might get back with him or whatever. And like I straight up for the entire on and off, like 6 years we were together, I was never with a single other person. Even when him and I were off, I just never like entertained anything else because I thought that he was my guy.
Sure.
So I remember her calling me like, I don't know, do you want? And I was like, no, I'm definitely not gonna see him. Fast forward to maybe 3 months ago, he slid in my DMs about something.
Mhm.
And I was like, wow, this guy's actually so fucking hot. Seems really accomplished. He works in the music industry, which is cool because my dad was in the music industry. So I know a lot of things about it. What happened, Kristian?
I thought I saw something.
What was it?
Don't worry about it. Tell your story.
Was it a bat?
Bat out of hell. Tell your story.
So anyway, I was like, wow, he's really cute. He's doing really well for himself. Like, it seems like he's really passionate about what he does. And he asked me out, but this was in April. And he was like, I'm going to be at Coachella because his artists were there for the next couple of weekends. And then I'm going to be at Stagecoach. So honestly, I won't be able to see you until after April. And I was like, great, sounds good. What are the chances that I get wifed up in the next month? 0. So he then didn't say anything to me in May. And I was like, all right, I'm just never going to see this person. And I don't really care. And as you guys know, I've been off the dating thing. So I'm just like, whatever. He slid in my DMs about a week and a half ago. What'd you say?
You did a big who curs.
Who cares? He slid in my DMs again about a week and a half ago. And I posted something about Chris Cornell. And he was like, I love him. And I said, I'm so upset that I never got to see him live. He's my favorite voice of all time. And he said, when do I get to see you live?
Oh, nice.
So
Okay, so that was
good.
decent. So that was decent, right?
Decent.
Yeah.
So
Decent.
I was like, great question.
Yes.
When are you free? And he was like, can make myself available anytime this weekend. And so we picked a time. So I was seeing him on Friday night. I was dropping my sister off at the airport Friday night. So I told him as a heads up, I'm dropping her off at 9:30. It's going to be late. And we're
Be home
grabbing
at
a drink.
midnight.
No, I was like, it probably would be 10:30 that I can see you. So
That
we
was
did.
a
We met up at 10.
LAX traffic. Anyway.
What?
It was an LAX joke because it takes so long to get from one spot
it
to
was
the
a
next.
fucking
Just
nightmare
a
because
word.
of the Microsoft situation. My sister was hours late getting in.
Yeah.
Oh no.
All the flights were canceled.
Yeah.
It was an
So
absolute nightmare. When I just told you guys was a lie.
Oh.
Wasn't supposed to drop her off at 9:30. I was supposed to drop her off at 8:30,
Oh.
but getting out of there it took until 9:30. So
Okay.
I was like, okay. So anyway, I meet up with him late. The reason that's relevant is because I'm coming from the airport
Tired.
and I'm in one mindset. It's 10:30. He is like a member at this place that I have only been to once, but he has to come down and get me because I'm not a member there.
Okay.
So I
At the
tell
place
him,
on
hey,
Sunset?
No, it's
Okay.
not Soho.
Okay. No. It's a different place on Sunset. Okay, go ahead.
Oh, no, it's the place is Petit Hermitage. You know it there?
I don't think so. It was another place that I was thinking about.
You're
But
talking about birds?
it doesn't matter. Go ahead.
I keep naming places. You want me to?
No.
LA has a lot of these spots where
Yes.
like there's just different membership places. This is for the people at home. I obviously know you guys know that. But this one
I
more
didn't,
people
but
in the
go ahead.
music industry go to. So I've been there once before. Actually, you know who I was there with once before?
Who's that?
Remember the Philly guy that I saw for a second?
Roxy, if you can
Who
feel
then
that.
like took the Philly guy who was out here and then he took too many shrooms at the Getty?
I mean, I believe
Oh.
it. I believe it.
You don't remember this?
I remember.
Do you even listen to my stories?
I always listen to your stories, but
He's
there's
who I was on my last date with there. So this place is
Okay.
fucking cursed with me.
okay.
So
So why did you say yes?
anyway.
Why did you say yes to this place? If you
What was I going to
cursed.
say? No, I don't want to go there because I had a bad date. Like
Yeah.
I didn't think the place was cursed. I think the place is really cute.
You say fuck.
So-
You say fuck off.
Yeah.
Something tells me you're not as invested in the story as I need you to be right
I
now.
am. You go to the Getty and it's about to go into the shits.
You're bearing the lead. We need
No,
to
I
hear
didn't
this
go to the
shitty
Getty
part.
here.
Yeah.
The Getty was the other date, Kristian.
And then I ordered an appetizer, and then no, get to the shit. Get to
I'm
the
I'm attempting. You two make it very difficult. Mister, I have a hard time interrupting you guys. Boom, boom, boom. So, all
Too many.
right. I get to the date. He comes to meet me at the door. The reason that that's relevant is
Yes.
that we're outside, so it's pretty dark when he comes. And I look at him and I'm like, wow, he's smoke show. So
Okay.
cute. Seems great.
Right.
The second he gives me a big hug, a huge compliment. I'm like, oh, yes. The second we step inside, then I look at him and I'm like, oh, no.
What?
He is
Hammered?
toasted.
Oh no.
Toasted.
Oh no.
Like, you can see in his eyes that they're super fucking pinned. I'm like, oh no.
Yeah.
So it went from like, oh hell yeah, to the second we step inside, I was like, oh Jesus Christ. So we go upstairs, and the way that this place is laid out, it's like these day beds. It's not tables. So we get into a day bed, which is a weird first date situation,
In general.
because we're on the roof and there's tables in a different area. That's not where we were. So we're like laying back in this day bed,
Mhm.
and immediately he takes out a cigarette and smokes it in my face, which I think is listen, people smoke cigarettes still. I used to for like a hot second back in the day when I was in high school. I haven't in a long time. I have no interest in smoking cigarettes, and I have no interest in reeking of cigarettes.
Or
I think it's
blowing into
really
someone's
rude.
face.
It's really rude to blow a cigarette. Like if you're going to smoke a cigarette because you're a cigarette
Right.
smoker, I
But-
think
but
you
this
should
is-
announce like,
So
hey, do you mind if I have a cigarette? I
Yeah.
can step away.
Of course, yeah,
you know?
but wait a minute. But you've already knocked. We know what this person. This is a hammered person. I'm picturing Brett when Brett was, hey, Brett.
Do you mind if I smoke?
Yeah.
Do you mind if I fart?
Okay, so let me step it back for a second. I know what it looks like to be fucked up,
Yeah.
and like on drugs, fucked up.
Yeah.
I know what that looks like.
Oh, so he's way
pinned.
past. Oh,
He's
okay.
pinned.
That's
So
what that
you
means?
you might not necessarily have been like, this guy's hammered.
Mhm.
I'm like, oh, I know this look. I've been this look. This is
Oh.
bad look. This is
okay.
college look. This is you are fucked up for sure right now.
This
But
is-
he's not speaking.
This
fucked
is
up.
Downey before he got cleaned up. Look.
Yes.
Okay.
So he's not talking messed up. So like, even when you're pinned, I would think that you still would have the wherewithal to not smoke a cigarette in my face, but he didn't. He smoked it right in my face.
Okay.
I'm like, and he was like, what do you want me to say about it? I smoke cigarettes. Would you rather me lie to you? And I was like, no, I wouldn't rather you lie to me. I just would
Ooh.
rather you not blow it in my face. So then from there, we are in public and we're talking, and he asked me the same question 4 times at this point. And I'm like, you asked me that 4 times. And he takes out a bag of blow and starts doing it in
Whoa.
public.
Whoa.
in public on our
Wow.
first date. And then I look at him like he has 10 heads, and he's like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Do you want some?" And I was like, "We are in public." And he was like, "It's LA. Everyone does this in LA. This is what LA is.
Oh my
Everyone does it in LA. I could lie to you. I could hide it, but why? Why would I do that?" And I was like, "Oh, Jesus
Can
Christ."
I say something?
Yeah.
I hate this person.
Oh, it was so funny
Yeah.
that I actually ended up staying longer because I was like, I have to keep this to tell Kristian and Brett.
Yeah.
Like, this story it's so fucking insane.
You stay there for the bit?
Yes, 100%.
Yes, I love that.
And he even at the end said, "Are you gonna fucking talk about this on your show?"
Yes.
And I said, "Absolutely."
Did you
he
tell
said-
him that? Did you say absolutely?
Yeah, I said,
Yes.
"Absolutely. Of course I'm gonna talk about this show. This is the worst first date I've ever been on."
I
And he
love
said-
that you said that to him.
And then he leaned in to kiss me after I said that. And I said, "You've got to be kidding me. You've got to fucking be kidding me. Did you hear me just say it's the worst first date?" He goes,
Hey,
I thought-
hey, stop
I
it for a
thought
second.
we were-
Stop it. Now you gonna tell me. No.
"Let me tell a fucking story."
No, you listen to me. You tell me you didn't think about me during this time. I wouldn't do blow. I'd do some blow, but not that kind. You know what I'm saying?
You don't even get to hear the rest of the story.
Why? Tell me. Come on.
No, you don't get it now.
You want me to
This
fuck
is what
off?
happens. There are consequences
right.
for your actions.
All right,
and when
I'll
Big
fuck
Wolf
off.
comes out,
All right,
you don't
I'll
get to
fuck
hear the story.
All right, I'll leave. Bye-bye.
All right, go ahead,
No.
finish.
No, that's it.
What do you mean? No, hey, I can't stop him sometimes.
That's the story.
It's not over.
Not to mention, you might have to cut this part out, but
Oh.
not to mention you making big balls the password of the fucking show today.
I don't know to cut that
Yeah.
out. I don't know to cut that out.
HR.
No, it was great. I did that on purpose.
As I'm sitting here typing in
Yeah.
big balls.
This is what my favorite part about it is, though, because when it comes to him, because I love when people say they don't like him. You know that.
Of
You know,
course.
I love
You
that.
and my brother are like the same fucking person. It's like the way, although you're on my good list this week. as
What
you
I
know,
do?
so-
Oh, okay. Well, we know.
know,
We
you're just
know
on my
it.
good list this
Okay,
week.
good. But this guy clearly not, and he does. So he actually might listen to the show.
Yeah, I'm sure. And honestly, here's what I'll say to him. As I said to him there when he got really upset, he was like, "Did I blow this?"
Well,
And I was
literally, yeah, you did. Literally.
And there was times throughout the date where actually things came up that I was like, him and I, if he wasn't such a drug addict, we have such similar, like when he was talking about his sibling relationships, his family life,
Yeah.
his interest in music, like his passion for his career,
Everything was vibing.
everything. I said, "Listen, I'm not gonna say you blew this because you were exactly who you are. And if that's where you're at, I'm glad you met me at where you're at. So I know immediately
Yeah.
that this is not a match. But you just told me you are looking for your wife and you're never going to show up to a first date as absolutely pinned and fucked up as you showed up to this date and find the kind of wife that I think that you're looking for. That's never going to happen."
You straight out
So-
said that to him. Good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you.
And clearly not computing because afterwards he tried to kiss me again. And I was like,
he tried
I'm
to kiss
not
you
even
twice?
joking.
You tried to kiss you twice?
I'm going to say 8 times. I was
Hey,
like,
You give the guy's got some balls.
I'm laughing my ass off because I'm
Yeah.
like, there's no world in which not only not now, but never am I ever going to hook up with you because coming to this date, I thought you were extremely attractive and leaving this date, I have no attraction to you at all. And I'm not saying that to be mean. I'm saying that because these are decisions you made coming here.
Right over
And
his
if
head,
you
though,
had-
didn't it go? Did it go right over his head?
I don't know. As if you had made different choices, because he was
shit.
asking me, he's like, "Why isn't this working for you? I really think that we're connecting." And I was like, "There were choices that you made that made this impossible for me to connect with you."
This guy, this is.
and that's the truth.
I
And so
I hate him and like him at the same time.
I know.
yeah.
He's all. I actually would love to be his buddy and go have like a debaucherous fun night with him.
Yeah.
But it was so sad because he's so sexy, and I was like, your personality and your like passion and your physicality are hot. But what you did was the least attractive thing I think anybody's ever done. Like he was so fucked and like a million miles an hour talking.
Yeah.
So anyway, he texted me the next day.
And
he
said?
was like, "I had a great time with you last night."
I'm telling you. Like, yes.
When I go to leave, I'm calling the Uber. He was like, "Hey, instead of calling the Uber, you want to come over and watch TV?"
Oh,
And I was like,
nice.
I am just baffled by you that you think that that's somewhere on the table. That hasn't been on the table for the last hour and a half. That is like, so that was never on the table. It will never be on the table. I think that you absolutely should go home and watch TV though. And then I was like, I'm going to call the Uber. He was like, please don't call the Uber. He got up, shot up, sprints back with 2 more shots. And I was like,
Wow.
I've already called the Uber. And then he looks at me dead in the eyes. He said, I have to leave. I really have to leave. And he left.
Oh, yeah, the Coke shits.
I don't know. He left.
I love how the detective finally comes in at the end and figures it all out.
Aha, the Coke shits.
So
That's
tell
100%.
tell us, detective, what happened immediately?
Well, he was gonna get the shots because he wanted to go back to your place. He tried the old, hey, Rox, do you want to go back to my place, eat some pizza and fuck? And he's like, no way. And he's like, what? You don't like pizza? Hey-o!
Yes, that is what happened.
It seems like it pretty much. I love that he just figured it out. That he's like, I gotta go, and he starts. It's like something you see out of a Kevin Smith movie. He's like in the middle of a conversation. He just it computes in his head, and then he just runs down the block.
Runs out.
Oh, that's hilarious.
I'm at his membership club.
Oh my God, that was the best. Yeah, I hate him and like him at the same time.
The
I know. If you met him, you would have thought. If you had been there, you would have been like, "This is the funniest guy I've ever met."
If he told me the story, if he was a friend of mine, I'd be like, "You idiot! That was hilarious."
Yeah.
But what an idiot you are! You blew it with that girl. But man, that's a funny story. I mean, that's what
I like had to fly on the wall for myself and be like, "This is
it's funny.
objectively hysterical."
He's hilarious. It's almost like Tom Dagnino's weird cousin or something.
I want to know how many times that's worked.
I asked him, Brett. I asked him straight up. I said, "Is this what you do? And does this get people in your bed?" And he was like, well, here's the deal. Here's the deal about me. Here's the thing about me. So I'm a weekend warrior. He kept using the phrase weekend warrior. I'm a weekend warrior. I'm a weekend warrior. So the thing about me is that if you and I were at like a nice dinner, I would have waited to do drugs till afterwards. So like, I think that they might not have known because I'm a weekend warrior. So like, I only do drugs the weekends. And I was like, so what if you go on a date on the weekend? He was like, but after dinner, but this is drinks. So I went to dinner with my friend and that's when we were doing drugs. So then you saw me afterwards doing it. And I was like,
yeah, you bit the bullet on this one. Bit the bullet, dodged the bullet. You did all of it.
I know. So I hope he gets his shit together. He was telling me about all this stuff. He's like, I just bought this beautiful, and he showed me. He just bought like a beautiful home in Brentwood, and I'm just like, how? That's so unfair. Like, how do you get to just be like such a degenerate? Even though I'm sure he's good at his job, but like, I like really have gone the straight and narrow now, and I can't pay rent. So like, it's like.
Hey,
what the fuck?
Things come around. They turn around. But the good news is this. The good news, Roxy, is that you were able to talk to us about this. And then I'm sure you were also able to talk to your friends over at BetterHelp about it. Because that's what we're going to do right now. We're going to tell you guys about BetterHelp. And then we're also going to tell you how, because Roxy said, she's struggling with rent. But there's a good way to make sure you have all that in check. Rocket Money. I'll tell you about both of them right now. Segue it up. You got to stop wasting money. That's what I said to myself. And I said it to myself many times over because I've had these apps. I've looked at these apps, and we've all done it. Looking at the app going, oh, that's going to be fun. Oh, yeah, I'll cancel it when it's time. And I forget to. And I look, I got billed for this. I got billed for this. I got billed for this. Like, oh, no. Well, Rocket Money is a personal finance app, and it tells you about unwanted subscriptions. It tells you it'll cancel the unwanted subscriptions for you. But it does so much more. It does things, whether it's managing and saying, hey, you spent this much money this month as compared to this month. You can do this, this, and this. You have bills coming up. You have all this. Every day I get notifications from Rocket Money. Every day I'm looking, it has helped me organize in ways that I never thought I'd be able to, and I love it. So if you go to rocketmoney.com/thing, it will change your life. You'll love it. Rocket Money is so great. It has over 5 million users and it has saved a total of $500 million in canceled subscriptions. It saves members up to $740 a year when using all the app's features. So you got to stop wasting money on things that you don't use. You can cancel your unwanted subscription. You go to rocketmoney.com/thing. That's rocketmoney.com/thing. rocketmoney.com/thing. All right, thank you to both Cremo and episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. I want to ask you guys, what are your self-care non-negotiables? What is it? You don't skip leg day or therapy day? Well, when your schedule's packed with whether it's kids' activities, big work projects, and more, something I can certainly relate to, it is easy to let your priorities slip. I was just having a conversation about this. I've talked about this many times over. Roxy, Schreier, people in my family have been working with BetterHelp. And if you've been watching my show long enough, Roxy just swears by it. So beneficial of how it works for her schedule. If you've ever thought about trying therapy, you should really give BetterHelp a try because it's online, it's designed to be convenient, it's flexible, and it is suited to your schedule. Simple. You fill out a brief questionnaire, you get matched with a licensed therapist, you switch therapists anytime, there's no additional charge. So never skip a therapy day with BetterHelp. All you got to do, you visit betterhelp.com/bigthing today, and you'll get 10% off your first month. That's 10% off by going to BetterHelp, HELP.com/bigthing. All right, thank you to our friends over at Rocket Money and, of course, BetterHelp. Yeah, man, it was a good story, Rox. I'm glad that you told us. I didn't know where I was going to go, if we were going to go right away from Skeleton Crew, but no, I wanted to hear that story. And that's it. So, and I one of the reasons that people have been noticing, been doing getting right into the topics with a lot of stuff, and not this particular, not on Thursdays. Thursdays is just kind of bullshitting. But I've been doing a on this episode thing, and some people are like, "Well, I don't need to see it on this episode." It's for new people. That's what happens when you click on it. Because I went through a lot of different. I went through some stuff with some people, and they were going through how to get more people to watch the shows because we have more things coming. We got a lot of interviews coming. And if you notice, the thumbnails have been different also, and Brett's mom has noticed.
I feel like it's not even just for new people, though, Kristian. I feel like it's for, I like it when I go to watch episodes, here are the things we're talking
We're going to talk
about.
It's one of the things we're going to talk about, yeah. So, and some
It's
people...
so weird that people aren't digging that. It's such a,
well, they
it's
feel,
a TV format.
They feel like it's like the thing, the teaser, the trailer, the thing, but it's like, no, it's to let you know what's going to be covered on this episode. But it's not going away. So people the people, the reasonable people were like, well, you just skip forward. But
can you tell me about the Brett thumbnail thing? I noticed this as well.
Why he wasn't on?
Yeah.
Because there is good data in that there should only be 2 people on the thumbnail at all time, and then whatever is talked about in the middle. So I'm going to start, and I did a test with Winston and Coy, and I put Winston on one with me, Coy on one with me, separate ones, and then what I'll probably do for this one, because you can do test thumbnails now with YouTube, I'll put one with you on it and one with Brett on it, and we'll see. But traditionally, what I have found with the Thursday episodes is that when the 3 of us are on together, they do well. When it's me and Roxy, they do good. When it's me and Brett, they don't do good.
Really?
I don't know why. And they're so fun. I always have good episodes. I'm never going to change it. But it's but for some reason.
You want to know why I think that is?
Why? Because people want to see a pretty woman?
No, I think it's because you and Brett are the same human sometimes.
Oh, we are?
And so the people who are the same human as you, but you guys add to each other so in such a comedic format. But sometimes when even when I'm here, if I listen to you guys go, I'm like, I have no fucking idea what they're talking about. I do not know.
Well, that's good. You always want to hear that with comedy.
Yeah.
You always want to hear that. I say you always want to hear that with comedy. You have no idea what we're talking about.
No. I'm saying the people who do, people who are on the same page as you are obsessed with you guys. You guys could have a duo podcast.
Oh, well, wait. Let me be clear. The people who are watching the episodes seem to love them. It's just a matter of them clicking on it. That is the trick. And it's one of these things where you look at the interviews, right? It was what I noticed, and to Roxy's credit, she said about the clip outs, the clips, do the clips for the interviews, and then more people will watch it the way they did with Collider Live. And I told her, I said, I can't get clips to work for the life of me. I just haven't been able to do it since Collider Live. So I started my own clips channel, and I put a lot of the Robert Eiler clips on there. I put some of the Sam Morril clips and the Jamie Campbell Bower ones. The Sam and Jamie ones didn't do so well, but I put a lot of Robert Eiler ones on there. And then one particular clip did over 120,000 views. The channel right now is just around 600 or 700 people right now. It's growing, but
that's great.
That's where the interview clips and movie clips, or movie news clips rather, will air. Will be there instead of oversaturating this channel with it, because we got a lot of good interviews coming up. We have I have one of the cast members from Umbrella Academy, which I've been watching. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get to the entire. I'm enjoying the show, by the way. I just don't know if I can finish. There's 3 seasons, and I'm only like halfway through season 1. So
So you got me excited though. It's still done, right?
what's still done?
Umbrella, they're not coming back.
Yeah, they are. Season 4 is coming up now.
Oh, okay.
That's why I have this guy on.
When you said Umbrella Academy, I'm like, there's a new one out. I don't, because we love Umbrella Academy.
Well, why didn't I have you come in and do the interview with me? Would you be able to actually do the interview? I don't know.
No,
Probably not. Right?
I'm going to be in South Dakota. I might not even have
internet.
Internet.
Well, we're having on Friday. The actor who plays Diego is coming on. Well, I'm going to interview him on Friday. Probably going to air it sometime next week. I have Murray from Impractical Jokers coming on, which is going to be a lot of fun.
That's so great,
right? He's awesome. He's awesome. So
I feel like that's going to blow the fuck up.
I love him. I love him.
Yeah.
So I can't wait to talk to him.
Great.
And I watch those clips all the time. And when I want to be in a good mood, I just watch those clips.
Me too. Straight up.
And then Roxy, tell everybody who we have coming on. Yeah, I think it's going to air next week. Yeah, well, it is. It's going to be our Wednesday episode next week.
I was curious because I thought that Brett was obsessed with this too. But I've loved him forever because of Lost, and then with Shogun, we have Nestor coming on, which is like the craziest, coolest, most hot hip interview we could have right now.
And we're going to talk to him about, we'll obviously talk to him about his role in Batman. We've got to bring that up. But we'll be talking, this is his first Emmy nomination.
I mean, we have so many things to talk to him about. Like, he's been in every major fandom, I feel like.
Yes.
Yeah, almost everything that I love, he's been a part of.
Yes.
Everything that I love, he's been a part of.
Yeah, so it's going to be fun to...
He has 83 credits on IMDb.
Yeah.
83 actor credits. Like, how crazy is that? And I'm obsessed with him also. You guys know, year after year, what do I come in and rep so hard, and the Emmys does too? The morning show. And he plays Yanko on the morning show, and he's so good.
Well, that's why. So when they said, that he was interested in coming on, I was like, yes, but I got to have Roxy do it with me because I feel like I'm going to be there for this one. I don't feel like I'll be leading it.
No, you'll be in on it too.
Yeah, but more so for this one, I think I want you to kind of run because you're obviously, I'm a big fan of the guys. You know so much about it. You watch all those shows, and I think like
did you watch Lost, Kristian?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I watched Lost. And that was the one that kind of built his career. So that's going to be a fun one. And the other one, Roxy, were you a Biggest Loser fan?
Back in the day, I loved it. I mean, how could you not? It was so inspirational.
Then I'll have you on for this one too. I have Jillian Michaels that I'm going to have on.
Oh, no way.
Do you want to do that one with
She's
me?
a beast.
She's a beast.
She is, a beast.
Yeah, so we have, and I got another one that's lined up too. These are the ones that are locked in just to start shooting for sure, the ones that I just mentioned. Now, there's other ones that have been floating around. We don't have any dates that are locked in just yet, but I was supposed to have on Jacob from Cobra Kai, who plays Hawk. That looks like
you told me he's dating the other girl. I had no idea.
Yeah, but the other one, I may have mentioned this on air. I don't know if I did, but Elizabeth Shue.
Oh no!
Wow,
that's one. That one has been floated around too. That's not locked in yet, though. That one. That's one.
That's amazing, also because of not just obviously from Karate Kid stuff, but because of Gen V and The Boys.
Oh, The Boys. Yeah, I was just gonna say
she wasn't in Gen V though.
Yes, she appeared in that one episode.
Oh, she was in the one episode. That's right. Yeah, but then she's in season.
You gonna ask her if she's coming back in The Boys?
Well, did you watch this season?
That was his joke.
That's my joke. I just want to publicly announce, mostly for my mother, that I have no interest in ever interviewing any of these people. Not that I just am not somebody who cares to interview celebrities.
You did one. Nervous. You did one with me. Oh, it was Katie. Yeah.
But it's not my cup of tea, and it makes me more nervous than I think it would. And that's why when I did the one and only like press junket thing I did with
Chewbacca.
I did that kind of.
I love that.
Thing.
I love that. I think that if we had like the old kind of format what we used to do with Schmoes Know and Claire Live, and that would be, if it was Roxy and I in the room and then you there, that would be fun to do. Like it's just that's kind of, because I think that you would know. The problem was when we used to try to do that, everybody wanted to be an interviewer, and it's like that's not how it's not how it works. Roxy and I are doing the interviews, and it's like because we get how come we can't interview anybody? It's like because it's not the show. The show was pitched as
It's really hard to do a lot of people doing an interview.
yes,
It's very
it's
difficult.
super difficult, and it becomes awkward, and sometimes and I gave people opportunities sometimes to ask questions, and it didn't go over well. There were a couple times when some of the celebrities, there's death stares that happen from celebrities that were in there. There's one there, I think there was physical violence kind of threatened at one point. And then there's just awkward silence. So,
You know what's difficult?
yeah,
When you're prepping an interview or when you're doing the interview and you've prepped it, so you know where you're going.
yeah,
And then you've got other people who have other plans on where they're going.
right,
And it's like sometimes the third question you're going to ask, is the banger question.
right. There's a
And
design,
you have to like lead to that question.
right,
And you know how to get them to go there.
right.
And then somebody, after your second question, they'll throw something in and you're like, no, it was the next one was the one.
Derails it, and that's why you and I work well together when it comes to interviews because we know okay, well, oh, she's going there, oh, he's going there, great,
Yeah.
I'm gonna, and you also know because the way that my style is with conversation, I'm just listening and talking. You know, you've been doing this with me long enough. You know when to go. Okay, shut the fuck up for a second. Hey, so and so, and you'll ask the question. You'll jump in. So, but that's going to be less for Nestor because I think that I'm going to kind of throw to you more often than anything
I have a
else.
feeling you're gonna have like, especially about TDK stuff.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
there's just there's so many things, and you loved Shogun too.
Oh yeah. I mean, I don't think it's gonna be. I mean, I saw him on Michael Rosenbaum's show. Also, he's very easy to talk to. I'm not worried about that.
Oh, I gotta watch that.
I just know that you like.
Love
From the
him.
second, yeah. Even when we were going through a list of people to try to go get, he was one of the first people you brought up. So,
Yeah.
so
He's a
that's why I'm
beast.
excited. Yeah. So I think is that for next week that'll be a fun one to talk to him. So, and there's more and more people that are being kind of thrown our way, and we're really working on it. So, what I ask you guys to go to that Clips channel. So, if you can't watch the entire interviews, then make sure you get those clips on there because we're going to try to build that. I feel like that channel. I think Roxy's right. I feel like that Clips channel could be pretty big because of all the interviews that we got kind of coming up now. So. Okay, I think that's it. And as far as the thumbnails go, that answered your question, right, Rox?
Yeah.
Yeah, but poor
And I
guy's
have
mom.
no issue with that, and I'm comfortable with myself, and I would always put Roxy
But I'm not going
space
to cut you
before
out.
mine.
But I'm not. What I'm going to do is because YouTube has a thumbnail thing now that I'm going to do. What I haven't been doing that I will is I'm going to put one with you on it, one with Roxy on it, and
Is
then
that directly on YouTube, Kristian?
yeah, you can do it.
That's cool.
There's there's a test thing that you can do now with thumbnails. So 50% of the audience will see the one with you, 50% will see the one with Brett, and then it tells you, it analyzes which one people clicked on. So we'll find out.
That's unbelievable that they added that. That's a really cool
Yeah,
feature.
it's really cool. All right, so there you go. That's what we're doing thus far. Now we're going to get into this main story. 39 minutes into the show. Here's the first image. One of the first images of Skeleton Crew.
There it is.
Hold on. All right. Lucasfilm has announced the December 3rd launch date for the highly anticipated release of its new live action series, Star Wars Skeleton Crew. People broke the news with a new feature piece about the series, which contains some first look photos showing off the young leads and Jude Law's Jonad Nawood mentor character. The piece confirms that the series is set around the same time as the events of the first season of Mandalorian, several years after Return of the Jedi and before the events of Ahsoka. In the series, 4 kids make a mysterious discovery on their seemingly safe home planet and get lost in strange and dangerous galaxy. Finding their way home, meeting unlikely aliens and enemies will be a greater adventure than they ever imagined. The 4 kids are Ryan Kara Armstrong as Fern, Robert Timothy Smith as Neil, Ravi Kabut Coniers as Wim, and Kyra Crater as KB. Also on board is Nick Frost as a droid named SM-33, along with actors Kerry Condon, Tunde Adebimpe, and Jaleel White. The series is created and executive produced by John Watts and writer Christopher Ford. Watts, Jake Schreier, Lee, Isaac Chung, Bryce Dallas Howard, David Lowery, and Oscar-winning duo Daniel Kwan and Daniel Scheinert are all directing episodes. Now, here are some of those images. Right here, you get this one. The next one was these are from People Magazine. So we have that one, followed by Jude and the rest of the crew, and then you get this one here. Definitely has like an Amblin Entertainment Spielberg feel. It's supposed to be, when we talked to John Watts about it at Star Wars Celebration a few years back, he had referenced kind of Stranger Things meets Goonies and all that. I'm not getting from these images Stranger Things. I'm getting more so Goonies in the way it's lit. It looks kind of lighter.
E.T.
Yeah, for sure.
That first bike thing, just immediately I thought E.T. for some reason.
It's got an Amblin Entertainment thing to it, and I can't do is I can't judge this show or tone yet because off of some images that came up. It could be very like someone said. Mike was texting me. He's like, I don't know if it has that Stranger Things vibe yet, and I said not from the images, but from I haven't seen the trailer yet, so I don't know. I just think people are so disappointed with the last couple of things that have come out. Everybody's skeptical.
Well, I think that in regards to the Stranger Things comment, initially it was Lucas, Dustin, Mike, Will, and 11.
Right.
So I think just like the kids being at the core of this and kind of going on adventures might not look like Stranger Things, but it's a good reference point, especially because I think what maybe he's trying to say is we are focusing on the kids, but this isn't like a little kid show. Even though it's starring kids, this is like a bigger than that show, a 4-quadrant show.
Yeah, I think that, and look, Stranger Things was aimed and based off of trying to be like a Goonies thing. It was like a more serious Goonies. That's what it had, that 80s feel. And so that had its reference all on its own. So I think that, I don't know about highly anticipated though. I don't know if that's true. If this show is highly anticipated, I think that people are curious about it now, and it's not coming off of it's coming off of a whiff with Acolytes. So I don't know if people are going to be skeptical. I think that they should definitely call it Star Wars Skeleton Crew if it's not called that already. But
yeah,
I also think that what it has going for it though is that it's the launch date of December and leading into the holidays and when the kids are off of school for a little bit of a break. That's a good time to put it out. I think it's and another positive I'll give it is the list of directors that they have, stellar.
Did you say Jaleel White is in this?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow, I did not know that, and he's not listed on IMDb.
Huh?
That's what they say. That's what they say in those credits. Inside scoop at the Roops.
If I just by the fact that there are a lot of child actors in this, if I know anything from the prequels, that Star Wars fandom is very welcoming and kind to child actors.
All new actors. They love all new actors. They love all new things. They love it.
That poor cat, that poor young kid. I quit the biz,
yeah,
right?
Jake Lloyd, they beat him up pretty bad. But
when does this air, Kristian? What did you say?
December 3rd, I think is what they
When
said.
did they wrap production on it?
Well, it was supposed to be out last year. So I think they've been wrapped for quite a while. And that's why people were curious if this was going to hit first or Acolyte was going to hit first. But I think if this is the better show, if they know that this is the better show, then maybe it was strategic for them to say, okay, I don't know about Acolyte. Let's put it out here. Let's put everything that we have on it, give it some good PR, see what we can do with it, and let it run. And then we can end the year with Skeleton Crew. Go ahead, Brett. What?
But the reception.
Oh, sorry. I just wanted real quick. Does this tie in with anything, or is this another just standalone that doesn't?
No, this
have
ties in. This is as they said. It takes place before Ahsoka, but around the same events of Mandalorian. This is part of the Filoni Favreau universe.
Okay.
So I think that depending on how this show goes over and is received, you could see some of the characters popping up in Favreau's movie, Filoni's movie, moving forward. And that's kind of the goal, because when you get someone like Jude Law, you hope that you can put him in a film later on down the line.
Yes.
Yeah.
The reception, the reason I asked my question though initially was because the reception on Acolyte obviously was dog doo-doo,
Yeah.
despite me really liking it. So this is not. This has poor reception there could not have influenced whatever we're about to see. Like they definitely couldn't have pivoted this.
Oh no,
If
this was already shot. They already did.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
when we had Bryce Dallas Howard on Katie's show, she was talking about how she had shot her episode, and I mean that went Brett. When did that air? That aired in like February or
that was a
last
long
year.
time.
Yeah, it aired last year. And
I
she already
always
shot it.
think that it's so much harder. Like this is just a tiny example, but you guys know that one of the things I do recently is I've been doing stuff for Real Rejects, and sometimes I'll watch multiple movies in a trilogy or series, and they won't air. I won't. The reception won't be out until I've already watched 5 of them. So,
Mhm.
like, say I was watching Twilight, and I've seen 4 of them, but then the first one finally comes out, and somebody will say to me in the comments, like, "Oh, you missed this thing," or "This character's name is actually pronounced this way," and then they start screaming at me by the 4th one because they're like, "How did you not catch this?" And I'm like, "I didn't see." The feedback wasn't there until I'd already filmed. And I do think that's a problem with some of these franchises right now, where they're not. And I'm not saying that it should all be about what the fans want, but they're filming so many things that there's no time to respond.
Mhm.
It's like when you film 2 movies back to back, and you don't get to see, did this work for people? Did this not work for people? Which characters were they invested in? Who were they not invested in? And then you're just doing it immediately. And I know that there's not a direct connection between them, but I feel like what people's criticism was about Acolyte, there might be similar criticisms based on what we know about this. I don't know that this
I
is
don't
gonna
know.
be a follow-up.
I feel like the directing and writing could be better on this show. It seems like they're poised to have that to be better. I don't know. Favreau is involved as far as a producer on this. The thing that I think is going to get the most pushback on this show is because they're aiming towards the kids, so people are going to automatically think that it's a kid show, and they're going to think that it's not for them.
Didn't they feel that way about Acolyte though?
That it was a kid show? No, I mean
Yeah.
more young adult. This has like little kids in it. This has like little kids. You had like, what I think Amanda Stenberg is 20. And I think that Daphne Keane, after watching Deadpool and Wolverine, I mean, how wasted was Daphne Keane in The Acolyte? I mean, come on. Come
I thought
on.
you were insane.
Come
What's
on.
the deal with that?
What's the deal with wasting Daphne Keane? But this
She's a
is
star.
yeah. What I will tell you about this movie or this show that I think, Roxy, as a Patriots fan, and you will go through times in your life whether you're a Patriots fan for yourself, Red Sox fan, me, Yankees, Giants. You go through these moments where you're looking at the coaches, you're looking at the team, and you go, right now, I like what we have with this team. We're winning championships. We're in the playoffs. We may not have won the championship, but we got pretty far in the playoffs. We're doing good. And then you're like, we have, and this is especially true for both the Yankees and the Red Sox, where we spend so much money. We spend so much money on players and each and every year, and we came in second to last place. How? That's Star Wars right now. And that's what Star Wars is doing right now. They have all this talent. They have all this money. The team and the GM and everybody in there is just making these bonehead decisions that right now, it's like, someone asked me, do you think they can get it back on track? And I said, not with this current management team. I just don't think that they can. I hope I'm wrong. I hope that the movies turn out to be great. But
to your analogy, Kristian, the problem with movies as opposed to sports is sports, you either won or you didn't. How many games did you win? How many didn't you?
Sure.
And that kind of dictates the next season, and also can dictate how much money a team is making based on, did you win the Super Bowl or did you not? How far did you get? But when it comes to movies, as you've pointed out, Star Wars movies, especially the most recent trilogy,
They made money.
was up for debate. They made a ton of money.
However,
and so
you're right. But however, they haven't made one since 2019. So Lucasfilm, the last movie that they made, was not a hit. And that was Indiana Jones. It was a bomb.
yeah,
It was a big bomb. And they lost a lot of money on it. So they haven't made a movie. This is, again, if you're Disney and you have bought this property You're like, okay, make me Star Wars movies. You haven't made one since 2019. There's been 87 Marvel movies since the last Star Wars movie. And there's not one Star Wars movie because and it's not a matter of like, well, they didn't have anything set up. They had the Patty Jenkins thing set up, they had all this other stuff, and projects kept falling through. So, and then even Skeleton Crew. Skeleton Crew, it's supposed to come out, it doesn't come out. Acolyte was supposed to come out, it didn't come out, it finally does.
Mandalorian and Grogu, the next movie?
I think it's May 2026 is what it, and then they're not sure yet.
So you're telling me from 2019 to
Exactly.
2026? That's crazy.
It'll be 5 years, and it's like, and this is
No, 19 to 26. It's 7 years.
Yeah.
7 years. 7 years.
I go, no.
Yeah, you're right. And,
Let's do the math here, friends.
Come on.
are we doing the right
Yeah.
math? Yeah, we're doing the right math. 7 years till 2026, and I didn't even think about it because I'm like, it can be 7 years. If you're Bob Iger, you're going, let's go. Like, what are you doing? And so that's why. And the reason why they couldn't do it in 2025 though is because Avatar's coming out, and get out of the way.
But you think that it has to be December?
Well, they're doing one in May in 2026. They could do one. Well, Avatar's in December, but yeah, it's true. I don't think Star Wars should live in May anymore. I don't think it's the summer. I think that the reason why Solo, which I don't necessarily think would have done so much better, but it would have done significantly better. If it would have come out in December instead of May. I think that it was right after it was a month apart from Infinity War, and then it was also right after Last Jedi. So it's these two things.
You might disagree with this, but Mandalorian and Grogu is giving summer blockbuster.
I agree. That's why they're coming out in May.
I thought you were just saying you think that they should move to December.
No. Because they're going to have two movies that year. So if you're going to put one of the two in May, you put that one out there. I agree, because it's the only movie that Star Wars has thus far that is going to a wide audience, right? Because Acolyte was not going to a wide audience. There's no people like, what the hell is that? Like, if you're just a standard fan, but everybody knows Grogu or Baby Yoda. Everybody knows Baby Yoda. The news anchors like, oh, Baby Yoda, blah, 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 blah. And so it is very smart to put that into a May movie. But not every Star Wars movie can do that, especially when they don't really know what it is. They're banking on Grogu right now, and they're banking on the Mandalorian, which is smart. It's a smart business decision. But I also don't think that the director of the Rey movie is going to stay. I think she's going to wind up leaving the project. We'll see.
How come? Just because they all do?
Partially. And I think that I don't necessarily think that it's
Do you have insider information?
No, I don't.
Yeah.
I don't. I really don't.
Who are your sources?
I know. But I don't. I just think that it's I think that they're maybe changing things up, maybe not changing things up, but I don't maybe too much too fast. Because we'll see. Maybe I'm wrong.
Oh, when is Too Much Too Fast coming out? That's the last.
You tell me. You're the one that saw the trailer.
That's the last. It's called Too Much Too Fast.
Yeah.
Everybody's so old that when they drive fast, it breaks their backs.
Well, but I do want to get into that movie that you watched last night on Hulu. Can you tell me about that? Is that the one?
For real? Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah. Was it the one about the Lima?
Yeah, Lima. Yeah, Lima Me Alone.
That's
it's kind of a play on words.
Yeah, yeah.
No, that was a good one. It really tugged at the heartstrings.
Edgar James Olmos.
Yeah, it was giving Amblin. It was
right. You can't do it. Giving Amblin an ambient. All right.
Roggy. Jesus. Roxy did one of my triggers, and it's giving.
It's giving. I know.
Because I heard the Met Gala. They on Stern, they were goofing on how many times this person said it's giving.
Well,
this is like men your age. I'm so sorry, Brett. Hate it's giving. I get that feedback from that only from yous.
Okay.
Men of a certain age.
Yeah, I don't even know what you're talking about. So look, before we move on to the final TV segment of this show, I want to tell you guys about two more of our wonderful sponsors. And of course, that is Raid, Shadow Legends, and Cremo Body Wash. Let me tell you about both of them. Here you go. I want to tell you about one of our sponsors today. That's Raid Shadow Legends. You've been watching this channel long enough. You've heard, it's one of the only mobile RPG games that I have played. And I'm not alone. There's over 4 million users that are playing Raid Shadow Legends. It's got over 250 million downloads. It's cool because it has over 850 playable champions. It's got 16 factions to choose from. It's got over 30 bosses to take down. It's got millions and millions of builds that you can work with. So this is a game that you are not going to be bored playing. It's got monthly content updates. It's fully cross-platformed. You can play it with everybody. So do me a favor, click on the link in the description and you will see why this is one of the most downloaded RPGs and why so many people are playing it. Go and give it a shot. What's great is the second you sign up, they give you a starter pack and they give you a champion, Big Elf, Big Ears, Tyrell. He's pretty awesome. Tyrell is highly regarded as one of the big players. He's got a lot of different things that come in. All Raid players talk about how incredible he is with the arsenal that he comes with. When you reach level 25, you get another starter pack. So come join me. You can join the Clan Harloff when you sign up with Raid Shadow Legends. This isn't a silly game. This isn't a stupid game. This is a fun game. This is a game that you guys know me. It takes me a while to, like, oh, am I interested? And I'm interested. I talked about this a while ago, and I'm still talking about it now. So check it out. Its link is in the description. I got to tell you about Cremo. That's right, man. So, and I think you guys also have, last week when I was telling you guys about them, I got so many people, I can't even tell you how many people that said, yeah, I use Cremo. I use it so many times. I've been using Cremo, and before you even told me about it, Harloff, I knew it. Because for me, after working in the studio all day, I want to go home and I smell like an alley cat. I want to go home and take a shower and relax. So I love going out on the weekends, but sometimes my friends, they want to visit some really nice places. It means I want to smell nice. My wife and I would go out. I was like, you don't want to, like I said, she want to go with like a mountain lion who's been sleeping garbage. She wants to go with someone smelling nice. And that's where Cremo comes in. So you want to elevate and you want to enhance your hygiene routine with Cremo Body Wash. It combines a rich lathering and hydrating formula with meticulously balanced, multi-layered fragrances for a superior shower experience. So I used it, even we were working in the studio here really late. And so I was like, okay, I used it, felt great right away. So Cremo works with master perfumers to make sure that every body wash scent is blended and refined, and their hard work definitely shows. Every wash that I've tried smells like it's like really high-end cologne. So I really dig it. I like the new bourbon vanilla men's body wash, which I've been using. It's really good. Yeah, it's really, really good. So, it gets me clean and it relaxes me after a long day. So check it out. All right. Thank you to our friends over at Raid Shadow Legends, of course, Cremo Body Wash. As I tell you guys each and every time, and thank you to those. I get DMs from people saying, hey, listen, I heard what you said. I want to help out the show. I want to support the show. And I wanted to get something and Cremo Body Wash to me seemed like something I wanted to get. So I'm checking it out. So thank you. So check that out. Links are in the description. All righty then. Let's get to the final segment of the show. And that is TV news with Roxanne Stryer. Okay, so here we go. Roxy, what's the first on the list?
If you're not watching House of the Dragon, I'm confused. How are you a TV fan? It's so good this season. I can't wait for the finale. The penultimate was awesome. The best part about the show is in its title, which is the dragons. The dragons are just so sick and beastly. I know that people are having an issue with Team Black after Rhaenyra's most recent decisions, but sometimes as a leader, we see you have to do what you have to do. I'm not saying that makes it right, but it makes it really interesting moving forward to the finale. So I thought that this penultimate was fire.
Yeah, me too. I thought it was pretty great. Did you see that they leaked 30 minutes of the finale? Did you see that?
I did. It was leaked on TikTok and 100,000 views before it got sent down. Wow. Of course, I didn't watch it. I just think it's
why would you watch
a special kind of prick to leak this. Well, and then you have to be a special kind of prick to watch it if you're watching it on purpose. Like, let's just let artists make art and release it.
Well, I think the leak might have been a distribution partner by accident or something. Is what they think. That's what happened in 2022 with the first season. But I think that.
Well, what do you mean by accident? How does it end up on TikTok by accident?
Oh, they hit the wrong button or whatever. I'm not. Who knows? Someone got. I mean, I have no idea. Maybe someone saw it when it was leaked somewhere. One of these different platforms, and they were able to grab 30 minutes of it. Who knows? But either way, it was leaked. I couldn't watch it. I don't want to watch it. I want to watch it when it comes out so I can. Brett, are you caught up yet?
No, no. We've been watching a lot of the Olympics.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's the only time that it's okay to be proud to be an American.
Oh,
I know it's so true. I don't think only time, but it's so true, Brett, that I do feel I've been watching women's rugby because I'm obsessed with this girl, Alona Mayer, who do you guys know who this is?
no.
Oh my God, she's a fucking beast. I'm obsessed with her. She to me is like what Simone Biles is for gymnastics.
Mm-hmm.
She is that for women's rugby. She is a gangster and now she got a big social media following. She's just awesome. And it's like, I don't give a shit about rugby and I don't care all about any of these. And I'm just sitting there like, go America!
Right.
I
Yeah.
love it.
It's true.
It's cool. It is nice.
Okay. Well, Game of Thrones, House of Dragon, Olympics. Okay. And now we got this one.
So the Bachelorette this season, guys, I gotta keep the main thing the main thing. That's what they keep saying. There's this one guy named Sam, and he is like the leader with the sheep below him, and they all hate this other guy, Devin, who's doing nothing wrong and is so sweet. And Sam just keeps being like, everybody, we gotta keep the main thing the main thing. We gotta keep the main thing the main thing, meaning like Jen's the main thing. And yet he can't keep the main thing the main thing. He just keeps talking about all the other things that aren't the main thing.
Sounds like the guy you went out with.
I know. I think Jen's is a sweetheart. She's not the most entertaining because she's just kind of like a normal, sweet girl, and I like her a lot. She's lives in Boston, so a lot of the things that she talks about and the way she acts, I'm like, oh my God, we would have been homies growing up. But her ex comes on this episode, and my sister and all her friends know this ex.
Oh.
And it just is it's a weird look behind the scenes when you know somebody on the show because, for example, he posted on his Insta story, which I went and saw, his name's Matt Rossi, and they said he is 27 from Georgia and an insurance director or whatever. And he's like, I'm 28 in Boston and I sell beer.
Right.
And it's like, what? I'm sure you have more information on this, Kristian, because you were a producer, but like, why did you guys lie about his age, his location, and his job? That's so weird.
It is weird. Yeah, I try to not even think about that part of my life anymore.
Yeah, sorry. So anyway, I like the show, but it is weird when you like see behind it.
Hold on. Wait. Okay, go ahead. Say that again.
I like the show a lot, but it's weird when you sneak behind the curtain and you're like, is any of this real? Like, how much of this is real?
Right. Well, I mean, I will tell you that it's real. This is what I can say from working there. But things are like there's strategy behind it. Where if the three of us were producers and each one of us were assigned to, you get Rachel A, I get Rachel B, you get Rachel C. Right. That's our people, and we want to make sure that our person for night one anyway, that he's going to pay attention to her.
Yeah.
So I go to Rachel A and I said, look, just go. You're going to get some time here. Make sure you bring up the thing with your mom. Bring up, let them know about you. Tell them about this. Tell them about that. Just don't forget to bring up this.
What season did you do, Kristian?
I was there from 2009 until 2013. So, I mean,
Is that
tons.
Kristian, Trista, and Ryan?
Oh, God, that was like season one.
Yeah. So when did it start?
Like 2002.
Oh, yeah. Because I used to watch with my mom.
Yeah, no, I was. So, I mean, I can mention a ton of them. There's bachelorettes for like Allie, and there was Jake Pavelka. But I actually met a good buddy of mine when I was a producer on Bachelor Pad. Both William Holman and Graham Bunn. I took him to see the Last Apes movie. It was one of the last people I got to hang out with.
The seasons you worked on, I wasn't watching anymore, so I don't know those people.
Oh, okay.
Because remember, I didn't watch Bachelor for years until you convinced me to watch it again.
I got you. I was trying to get you on the show.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. So let's jump to the next shit show.
Bring on the Genergy.
I'm obsessed with Big Brother, man. This show
is still
so
on the
cool.
air.
What'd you say?
The show's still on the air.
Yeah, it's on in the summers. It's such a great summer show. It's on 3 times a week. I live for it. They make changes all the time. They heard the people saying, eviction night is boring because blah, blah, blah. So they added certain competitions this season. Unfortunately, the guy that I really liked that was like an absolute smoke show, he went home first. And I was like, fuck, what? What is happening? And this one girl, Angela, is the one who kicked him out. And she is the older woman on the show. I'm not calling her older in life, but she's the oldest woman on the show. And she just like lost her marbles when she got in there. You know how in reality shows, sometimes you'll see somebody and you think they might be normal, but they get on camera and they get paranoid and you watch the wheels turn. So she just like decided that he was coming after her. And she like comes downstairs clapping. And she's like, crazy eyes, Matt. Crazy eyes, Matt. You're going home. Crazy eyes, Matt. Don't look at me with those crazy eyes. And she like loses her shit. It was unbelievable to watch.
I can't believe
It was crazy. And he did go home because she claimed that she was like, he was verbally, what did she say? Not verbally abusive to me, but she was like, he verbally threatened me. He kept threatening me. And what he said to her was, if you put me up, I'm going to put you up. Which is not a verb, but the way she was saying it made it sound like he like really threatened.
And they can't watch footage
and they can't watch it. So us at home, we know what the fuck is she talking about? He said, you put me up, I'm going to put you up. Normal.
Right.
She comes down, he threatened me. He threatened me in my room. He came into my bedroom and threatened me. And everybody's like, oh my God, why would he do that?
What do you say, Brett?
This is a legit, not jokey question. Why do people go on this show? Like, because it's not like you don't become famous like on The Bachelor. And how much you
$750,000.
$750 to be on. Wow, that's insane that show can generate that much. And I don't think. I mean, I guess more people watch
network TV. If you're able to still generate an audience on network TV, reality TV show are one of the few shows that can continuously, like you don't see. What are the big hits scripted TV shows on television right now besides like Abbott Elementary? What else is like the big back in the day? There was the pilot season. Now all the pilots are made for streaming shows. What's the big shows now on network TV, Roxy?
Really is like Abbott. The only other one I hear people talking about a lot is Ghosts, but like, of course like procedurals and like Grey's Anatomy, stuff like that. But
right. So mostly it's reality shows. That's what, and so because
that's a lot of money, and you're there 100 days, and if you don't win that, you still have a chance to win $25,000, $50,000. So there's like
100 days. Jesus.
Yeah, there's no rhyme or reason for a lot of this stuff. Like for some reason, I have a craving for bacon right now. I don't know why.
All right, so
where are you at with this, Rox?
For a ton of Emmys. Slow Horses, I talked about last week. I finished season 1. I'm now on season 2. Here's what this show does really well. It ends every episode on like a what? So you have to watch the next episode. But the thing about this show is like it will be a 50-minute episode and not one thing will happen for the last 2 minutes, till the last 2 minutes. So this show, it's annoying that the title is Slow Horses because it is slow show. Yeah. So slow. The performances are excellent. But to me, if you want to watch a spy show, because this is about MI5 and the spies that don't make it there, they go to this thing called Slow Horses. The best spy show is The Americans. Mm-hmm. This is just like a different country's version of The Americans, but The Americans to me is a lot better. This show is good though. I can't say it's not good. It's a good show, but I don't think it's until the last minute every time. That's how they get me. I'm like, I don't want to keep, and then I'm like, what?
Yeah. Okay. All right. So then finally,
Too Hot to Handle returned to Netflix. This show is so wild. They all know they're going on it this season as opposed to previous seasons where they think they're going on a like hookup show. On this show, this is the show where Lana comes on. You lose money if you guys hook up with each other. That's the premise of the show. Lana's this little device like Alexa or Siri, and she's like, you have lost $15,000 because of that makeout last night. I like the people. You've never seen hotter people in your whole life. They can't keep it in their pants. It's hysterical.
That's so weird to me. It's like where, but some of them are plants, right?
I don't know, maybe, but like they're in their early 20s and they're not allowed to jerk off either. There are cameras everywhere.
But how long are you on the show for? You can't not jerk off for a week?
No, it's not a week. It's like maybe a month and a half. And they start to like lose their minds. I don't know. You tell me, at 21 years old, would you have been doing well with a bunch of hot girls around you? Somebody says, hooking up with that hot girl, you haven't jerked off in 3 weeks.
How much money is at stake?
That hot girl, it's going to cost you $5,000.
How much money is at stake?
It's $250,000 at stake.
Ooh, I'm not jerking off for a month and a half. 20 years. I know.
Okay, but you're not like a sex addict, and they are.
Yeah, I mean the vetting process for the show has got to be, because you have to pick people who really have no self-control, or that are strong like you, Roxy. I think you could win this. You've not hooked up with anybody for 2 years now, so I mean,
and I make no money off of it.
Yeah.
All right, well, Rox, it's a good list here once again. When is all the? I mean, because other stuff is coming out. Like I said, right now for me, when I'm watching Umbrella Academy, as I mentioned, which I really like. I think it's a really good show. I still haven't finished The Bear, which I'm bummed about. I keep trying. It is hard to
Where
watch.
are you in it?
I'm like 4 or 5 episodes into season 3, and I really like it. It's so hard for me to get anything done, like at my house, like to where it's like I get home tonight. What'll happen is I'll get home, and like last night I wanted to try to catch up and watch as many episodes of Umbrella Academy as I can. My goal was to watch 4. I ended up watching 2 because it's like, and Brett will be able to relate to this. I have a 6.5-year-old, so when I'm laying on the couch and my wife's putting her to bed, and then I look up and I see this little 6-year-old curly little hair. She's like, "I want you to put me to bed." I'm going to put her to bed because it's like eventually she's going to be like my 12-year-old and going to get the hell out of here, Dad.
Yeah.
And so I want to take those moments,
That's
so
so cute though.
she's adorable. And like, did I tell you the thing that she said about with the Olympics? We were
No,
watching.
what'd you say?
I think I told Brett this.
The Olympics is too woke.
That's exactly what she said. No, we were watching gymnastics, and it was like the first day, and that poor guy, he was supposed to win the whole damn thing, and he didn't. I don't even think he qualified. He wound up falling off the high bar, and he had like just a rough day. And I was like, "Oh, this guy's having a bad one, Maisie." And she goes, "I don't think he ate his breakfast."
Probably didn't.
It was the best. So anyway, well, that's our show for today, guys. So thanks for joining us here today, as always. What thumbnail did you click on? Did you see the one with Roxy, or did you see the one with Brett? Tell me. I'm curious as how this thumbnail tester works out. So who was on the thumbnail when you clicked on it? Roxy, where can I find you?
Everywhere at Roxy Stryer.
All right, Brett, this is it. Listen,
Here we go.
I want to hear a pitch. I'm gonna start with the pitch. Okay.
Yeah.
Brett Sheridan is on Above Board TV. Brett Sheridan helped build out the damn studio there. There's a lot of talented people working over at Above Board TV, and they work with board games and other things and Dungeons and Dragons and all that. And I think, this is my personal opinion, and Brett can tell me if I'm out of place for saying so. I want to see Brett in some more of these sketches. I want you guys to go over there and do the same. I want you to say, "Hey, where's Brett?" Because Brett's hilarious. We all know Brett's hilarious. But did I pitch it well enough, Brett?
Yes, of course. And I will be more active in the Above Board Everything's a Game podcast. I just was kind of getting the teching down, but I'm going to be jumping in there and playing with them more. I know we have had a lot of friends come over and make comments and check it out, but it's a really fun, goofy show, and we play fun games and we have a good time. Dungeons and Dragons fans, unfortunately I just teched this one, but we do a Dungeons and Dragons show that has got a lot of production value. We use 3D screens and Unreal Engine, and it's quite the thing to watch. If you're into Dungeons and Dragons, check that out. And then coming up, you'll be seeing me pop up here and there. We're going to be shooting a lot of videos. I'm going to South Dakota to build a Mad Max style car, and we're going to drive it back from South Dakota, and that's going to be the little spatterings of that coming up, and then that'll be super fun, and we'll see if I make it out of South Dakota alive.
I'm excited to see it. So make sure you head on over there.
Kristian.
I know. You did a good job. All right. Thank you to you guys. Appreciate it. As always, put your comments in there. Thanks for joining our sponsors today. Please go on over to that Clips channel and check out what we got going on over there. We have so many interviews coming up, and I'm excited for you guys to see all of it. We'll be back here tomorrow with Capes and Cows. For myself, Roxy, and Brett, see you later. Bye-bye.